that many years in the game and you're only 37 years old, where like your peers that are that age have only been in the game like 10 years. Like,
and he sculpted the culture that we are seeing right now.
Culture.
Yeah, culture, yeah.
That was my favorite part of the Drink Champs interview too, is when they were like, he was saying, nah, I don't even know what any of this is. Like, I thought 21 Savage was a fucking group. I didn't know, he didn't know who TDE was. He didn't know who QC was, even though he had J-Rock and fucking Takeoff on the project. And then to still have an album that sounded so much like today.
Exactly, dog.
And not be paying attention to shit. It's because he has all the sports references, to be honest. Because he just
sports references, street references, and he's always had those entendres. Just that he's the king of entendres. I'll give him that. You know,
and he'll just use the same word in so many different ways in so many lines, and just like keep it going. Like, that shit is crazy.
And twist words so that weren't even words before that like make it into a word. You're like, whoa, yeah.
I think that's where Eminem fucked up with his last album.
That's what me and Abel were talking about. It's like, yeah, you could have stuck with like the lyrical, like killing it, but just modern beats, bro. Like, you know,
modern beats and a modern energy.
Yeah, exactly. And he wasn't here to talk shit on little niggas, you know, like he was here just to make his mark again, you know.
He's not even paying attention to those
little niggas. Yeah, exactly.
He's not paying no attention to that shit.
21 Savage with a group, TDE. See, we gotta start this whole thing over again. You feel me? Yeah,
he's
shout
like,
out Weezy, bro.
That means QC's a group too? I thought Nori and him had a super cool vibe in that whole interview too.
Yeah, they were fucking really vibing.
Do you have any interview highlights?
I like how he just talked about just with Drake and stuff, you know, and like how him and Drake are kind of like it doesn't matter if it's Drake or Nicki or whoever on Young Money, you know, he kind of just like they don't need to be together and they don't need to like always have like this super power group. Like he created it so like they can eat off of each other, you know. And basically he's saying Drake's like is bigger than him, you know, pretty much, like, you know, he made,
which is crazy to say.
Exactly.
It's crazy to think, because when he came out with Wayne, like no one thought that Drake would be bigger than Wayne, because Wayne was the biggest rapper at the time.
Exactly. So it was cool. I thought it was cool that he just paid homage and said like, yeah, you know, like I don't care about none of that, you know, like I'm worried about talking to Alexa. That was funny, you know. He's talking to like Siri and Alexa and shit like that.
That actually brought me to a bar. He said in one of the tracks, he's like, I got Siri fucking Alexa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah, that was a bar, fool.
That part of the interview though, where he was talking about Drake and Nicki, it was cool to hear him reflect, because he's the only one to ever put on two rappers that were equally as big as him at the time where he was still in the game.
Yeah.
And then to surpass him, and like, I don't know if Nicki surpassed him, but Drake for sure.
For women, like,
yeah,
for sure. Nicki Minaj went over like the whole.
She's probably the champ of all time with the women.
Of the modern age, you know, there's always like Queen Latifah and like, you know.
Oh yeah, like, no, I just mean numbers wise.
Yeah.
I mean, she's done more numbers than anyone else because of the time that she came out. Mm-hmm. You know, if Queen Latifah or any of them had came out during that time, and when hip hop became pop, which is what happened with Nicki and Drake. Like, I think Nicki and Drake made pop or hip hop go pop.
Hip hop.
But anyway, yeah, when he was talking about it, he was like, Nori asked him, how did you do that? How did you set your ego to the side and let these artists that are under you, like, how'd you propel them in front of you and still be one of the biggest rappers in the world and all be putting out music at the same time? And he was just so humble. He's like, because it's never about my ego. It's always about what I need to do for them as like the CEO of the label.
Exactly.
And I don't think any other artist that turned CEO had ever been that successful. And like no one after him has done it either. Like Drake has Party. Drake has who's someone else on OVO other than Party?
Well, he had Weeknd, but then he has what's that nigga's name? Fucking the dude
from London.
I don't know. The dude that said that he ghost wrote fucking Hotline Bling.
Fuck, I don't know his name. Is that Party? Party Next Door?
No, that's not Party Next Door, fool. That's fucking Quentin Miller.
Oh, Quentin. God damn. He's on OVO?
Is he not? He was. That's how that whole thing happened. He was on OVO, yeah.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying though, like Drake has yet to be able to put someone in the spotlight at the same time as him that's just as big as him. But no one knows really how Wayne did it, and Wayne doesn't do interviews, and Wayne doesn't really talk about his business like that. So to have a 2-hour interview with Wayne where he's like actually spilling the beans on a lot of his stories and a lot of his there was a lot of weird shit that they dropped in here, like how Jay-Z said he was scared of Wayne fucking the game up and like being afraid of like what that meant for him in that era where he was coming up. Like there was just so many jewels that they dropped. What you finna do?